Ladies and gentlemen, tennis fans from around the globe and especially the millions of heartbeat skipping supporters in the Philippines, stop what you are doing right now. We are live. We are witnessing history in real time. And if you haven't seen the footage that is currently melting down social media platforms from TikTok to X, you are missing the single most critical piece of the puzzle regarding Alexandra Eala's explosive start to the 2026 season. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we aren't just talking about a match. We are talking about a metamorphosis. We are talking about a shockwave that has rippled through the WTA 500 in Abu Dhabi before a single ball has even been struck in anger on stadium court. The headline is screaming at us. Alexandra Eala versus Zeynep Sonmez. It's round of 32. It is happening today, February 2nd, 2026. But the story, the real story that has the entire tennis world buzzing, the story that has coaches and analysts rewatching a certain 30-second video clip on loop, is not just about forehands and backhands. It is about a physical transformation that is nothing short of terrifying for her opponents. We are talking about the Plyometrics viral video. You've seen the thumbnails, you have seen the captions, Spartan training, the Nadal effect, Eala 2.0. But what we are seeing today is the proof of concept. The Philippine sensation, fresh off a career-high ranking of world number 45, let me repeat that, world number 45, is entering Abu Dhabi not as the underdog we use and know, but as a physical powerhouse. Let's set the stage because the atmosphere is electric. We are in the United Arab Emirates, the Abu Dhabi Open. This is a WTA 500 event. The points are massive, the prize money is life-changing, and the draw, it is brutal. But Alex Eala has arrived with tartar on her back and a new weapon in her arsenal. That weapon is her legs. That weapon is the explosive kinetic chain reaction we saw in that viral training clip that dropped just days ago. In that video, which we're going to dissect meticulously later in this broadcast, we saw an Alex Eala we simply didn't recognize 2 years ago. We saw box jumps that defy gravity. We saw lateral bounding drills performed with ferocity and a speed that suggests her court coverage has increased by a factor of 10. The internet is calling it the Eala hop, but let's call it what it is. It is a result of months of grueling, silent, dark-room torture in the gym. And now, Zeynep Sonmez, the Turkish warrior who just made history herself at the Australian Open, has to deal with this version of Eala. Why is the tennis world shocked? Because for years, the knock on Eala was never her hands. It was never her tennis IQ. She has the golden left hand. She has the angles. She has the Rafa Nadal Academy pedigree. The question mark, the whisper in the locker room, was always, can she hang physically in the third set against the Sabalenkas, the Rybakines, the heavy hitters? That viral video was an answer. It was a statement. It was a warning shot fired across the bow of the entire WTA tour. It said, I am not just a technician anymore. I am an athlete. I am a machine. And the timing could not be more dramatic. She faces Zeynep Sonmez today. Do not sleep on Sonmez. The Turkish star is coming off the run of her life in Melbourne, reaching the third round of the Australian Open, demolishing expectations and proving she thrives on the big stage. Sonmez is ranked 112 right now, but do not let that number fool you. She was top 70 last year. She is dangerous, she is gritty, and she knows a history. They have played twice before. Eala won both times, but that was before Sonmez's Australian Open breakthrough. That was before Sonmez proved she could take down heavy hitters like Katerina Alexandrova. So here we stand at the precipice of a clash that is about so much more than advancing to the round of 16. For Alex Eala, this is the first test of her new ranking status, world number 45. That number carries weight. That number means you were expected to win. That number means you are no longer the promising junior. You are the favorite. Can she handle that pressure? Can she translate that viral gym strength into closing out a match against a dogged competitor like Sonmez? The Philippines is watching. Turkey is watching. The tennis analysts are scrambling to update their predictions because the Alex Ella that landed in Abu Dhabi looks different. She walks different, and if that viral video is any indication, she moves different. We are looking at a player who has seemingly unlocked the code to modern tennis physicality overnight. This isn't just a match update. This is a forensic examination of a rising superstar at the most critical juncture of her career. We are going to break down the science of her training. We are going to analyze the tactical nightmare she presents to Sonmez. We are going to look at the rankings, the points, the history, and the future. Buckle up. The Ella evolution is televised. It is viral and it is live. The shockwaves are real. Let's dive into the deep end. To understand the magnitude of this match in Abu Dhabi, we first need to contextualize where we are in the timeline of professional tennis. It is Monday, February 2nd, 2026. The Australian Open is just concluded, the Happy Slam is in the rearview mirror, and the tour has shifted immediately to the Middle East swing. This is a notoriously difficult transition. Players are jet-lagged. They are coming from the scorching summer heat of Melbourne to the desert conditions of the UAE. The courts play differently, the balls fly differently, and in the center of this transition stands ALEXANDRA EALA. Let's look at her trajectory over the last 6 months because it is essential to understanding why she is the favorite today. The end of 2025 was a fairy tale for Ella. She didn't just play tennis, she carried a nation. The Southeast Asian Games, the SEA Games in Thailand were a coronation. She won the gold medal. It sounds expected now, but remember the pressure. She was a flag bearer. She was a superstar. She delivered gold for the Philippines, something she said she had dreamed of bringing to her country. That victory sparked something. She carried that momentum into 2026. She cracked the top 50. Let's pause on that. World number 45. For decades, Filipino tennis fans looked at the top 100 as a distant, impossible mountain. Ella hasn't just climbed it, she has set up camp halfway up the summit. Ranking 45 means she is now getting direct acceptance into almost every tournament she wants. It means she is ceding territory in smaller events. It means a respect in the locker room has shifted. But with ranking comes a target, and this leads us to her opponent, that if you are only watching Ella, you are missing half the battle. Zeynep Sonmez is not a journeyman to be taken lightly. She is a pride of Turkish tennis, much like Ella is for the Philippines. Sonmez is 23 years old. She is currently ranked world number 112, but that ranking is deceptive. In 2025, she reached a career high of number 69. She knows what the top 100 feels like. But her performance at the Australian Open just 2 weeks ago is what makes her terrifying today. In Melbourne, Sonmez didn't just show up, she arrived. She reached the third round, the round of 32 of a Grand Slam. This was historic. She became the first Turkish woman to go that deep in Melbourne. She took down a Katerina Alexandrova, a massive hitter. She beat Anna Bonder. Eventually, she fell to Julia Putintseva, but she proved she belongs on the big stage. Sonmez is a fighter. There is a story from the Australian Open that defines her character. In her match against Alexandrova, a ball kid collapsed due to the heat.
Same didn't wait for the umpire. She didn't wait for the medics. She immediately stopped play, rushed the child, and helped her to the shade. That is the kind of human being she is. But it also shows her awareness. She is present. She is not easily rattled. Her game style is built on grit. She is a right-hander with a two-handed backhand standing at 5'7". She doesn't have the towering height of a Sabalenka, so she relies on movement consistency and counterpunching. She absorbs pace incredibly well. And on hard courts like the ones in Abu Dhabi, she is dangerous because she makes you play one extra ball. Every single point against Sonmez is a war of attrition. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the video, the Plyometrics clip that has gone viral. Why does a video of a tennis player jumping on boxes matter? Why is entire tennis world shocked? Tennis traditionally was a game of hand skills, but the modern game, the game played by Iga Swiatek by Coco Gauff, is a game of explosive movement. It is about the first step. The video circulating shows Ayla doing what is known as contrast training. We see her performing heavy resistance exercises followed immediately by explosive, unweighted jumps. We see lateral box jumps, pushing off one leg to land on a high platform sideways. Here is the biomechanical breakdown of why this is shocking. And vital rate of force development, RFD. The video shows Ayla minimizing her ground contact time. When she lands, she explodes up instantly. In tennis, this translates to the split step. When an opponent hits the ball, Ayla splits. If her RFD is higher, she gets to the corner faster. The video proves she has significantly increased her twitch muscle response. Deceleration. The video also highlights her landing mechanics. Tennis is not just about running fast, it's about stopping fast. If you can stop in one step instead of three, you recover to the center of the court faster. Ayla's ability in the video suggests her core and glute strength have reached an elite level. The Nadal influence. We know she trains at the Rafa Nadal Academy. This training is pure Nadal. It is about violence of action. It is about building a body that can withstand the torque of the modern forehand. The shock comes from the visual difference. Ayla has always been lean, but in this footage she looks powerful. Her quadriceps look denser. Her balance is absolute. This addresses the biggest criticism she faced in 2024, that she could be overpowered by big hitters. You cannot overpower a player who is fast enough to get her body weight behind every defensive ball. This training video is a declaration that the defensive Alex Ayla is gone. She is now built to counterattack. So how does this training translate to the match against Sonmez in Abu Dhabi? Head-to-head history, they have played twice. November 2023, ITF France, Ayla won 7-6, 6-4, a tight straight sets win. June 2025, Eastbourne, Ayla won 6-1, 6-3, a demolition on grass. Ayla leads the head-to-head 2-0. Psychologically, this is massive. Ayla knows she can beat Sonmez. Sonmez knows she has never beaten Ayla. However, the trap game element is real. Sonmez is in better form now than she was in Eastbourne. She has that Grand Slam confidence. The matchup dynamics, Ayla is a lefty. This is her eternal advantage. Her cross-court forehand goes into Sonmez's backhand. However, Sonmez has a very solid two-handed backhand. The key battle will be Ayla's heavy topspin forehand against Sonmez's ability to flatten that ball out down the line. With Ayla's new viral movement, look for her to be more aggressive on the return of serve. Sonmez does not have the biggest serve on tour. If Ayla's plyometric training has improved her first step explosiveness, she is going to step inside the baseline and punish second serve. The danger for Ayla is consistency. Sonmez will not give her free points. She will make Ayla hit 10, 12, 15 balls. If Ayla tries to end points too quickly, if she tries to muscle the ball because she feels stronger, she will make unforced errors. The key is controlled aggression. Use the new legs to get in position, but use the old tennis IQ to construct the point. We cannot ignore the macro narrative here. The Philippines has never had a player ranked this high. Every time Ayla steps on the court now, she is charting unknown territory. The Abu Dhabi Open is a WTA 500. The points awarded here are significant. A win against Sonmez puts her into the round of 16, likely against a seeded player. This is where she cuts her teeth. This is where she proves that rank 45 is not a fluke, but a stepping stone to the top 30. The Manila homecoming at the WTA 125 recently was a bittersweet moment. She lost in the quarterfinals to Osorio. It hurt, you can see it on her face, but that loss might have been the fuel for the Spartan training block we are seeing. She realized that to win at home and to win on tour, she needed another gear. This match against Sonmez is the debut of that new geared Ayla. The Tifio summarized the situation. We are looking at a perfect storm in the desert. On one side of the net, we have Zeynep Sonmez, a Turkish history maker, fresh off the best Grand Slam run of her life, gritty, determined, and hungry for revenge against a player she has never beaten. She is fighting to get back into the top 100, and she views this match as her gateway. On the other side, we have Alexandra Eala, the golden girl of the Philippines, world number 45. But more importantly, we have Eala 2.0, the version of Alex Eala that has gone viral for her plyometric prowess, the version that has spent the offseason building a chassis capable of carrying a Ferrari engine. The shock that the title of this video refers to is not just clickbait, it is a genuine reaction of the tennis community to seeing a young player evolve before our eyes. We are witnessing the transition from potential to potency. The keys to watching this match are simple. Watch Eala's feet. Watch the first step. Does she look faster? Does she recover quicker? If that viral video is a truth, Sonmez is in for a very long, very painful day at the office. But tennis is played on a rectangle, not on a spreadsheet. Eala has to execute. She has to manage the nerves of being the favorite. She has to handle the heavy, humid air of Abu Dhabi. This is the beginning of the rest of her career. The top 50 is safe, but the top 20 is the goal. And the road to the top 20 goes through Zeynep Sonmez right here, right now. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have your notifications on. We will be covering every set, every breakpoint, and every controversial call. The evolution of Alexandra Eala is the most exciting story in Asian tennis right now, and you do not want to miss a single chapter. The plyometrics are done, the training is over, the viral videos have been liked and shared.